and welcome to my video review on the Mercier Silk Cream Foundation. Forgive the look of the bottle, it's actually had the life squeezed out of it. I'm on my last few kind of centimetres or millimetres and I'm literally like getting every single piece out of it. And that should automatically tell you how much I actually love this foundation. It's a foundation that I wear every single day. I don't even have to think about using it. It's the one that out of all the foundations I have, I automatically go for. And I'm not saying the foundations that I have I don't like. It's just that this foundation gives me everything I need, and the simple thing about it is that I love how easy it is to use. You know, waking up in the morning really early, I don't want to be there having to dread putting my makeup on. And what I like about this foundation is I don't dread putting my makeup on at all. It literally goes on so easy. It works with my skin really well. I've actually done a review on this foundation possibly a year ago now, maybe a little bit less. I just really wasn't satisfied with what I was telling you, because the way the camera looked and the exposure on it, I looked like a ghost. I just looked like a complete weirdo. So I'm coming back today and I'm telling you guys all about it again, and simply my views haven't changed. I loved it then, I love it now. I'm actually in the shade Cream Ivory, which I believe is the lightest shade. I mean, in terms of shades, the Mercier range in terms of that doesn't have that many choices to choose from, you know, in terms of the colour, you know, and that is probably one of the most negative things I've heard about it, in terms of whenever people, you know, rave about this foundation, they always go back to the simple fact there isn't that many shades to choose from. I'm quite lucky in the terms that this shade suits me. It is slightly dark for my skin. It goes on my skin perfectly, it matches my colour perfectly, but then it does tend to oxidize slightly, and it's not oxidizing in the way that, oh my god, I look really orange. You can just see that it's got a little bit darker, and I do have to blend it down to my neck a little bit just to kind of make me not look like a strange person, because you do end up with a little bit of an orange foundation line. So if I blend it down into my neck, I don't have any problems. To be honest with you, because I am quite pale, you could probably tell, a lot of the foundations I buy, even when they are in the lighter shade, I do have to blend down to my neck anyway, just to be on the safe side, because like I say, it would look really odd, and I have made the mistake many times going out with a foundation line, not even realising, getting into the daylight and just thinking, oh my god, how embarrassing. So I've always now blended down to my neck. This foundation in particular, I would have to anyway, because like I say, once it oxidises, you do tend to notice more of a kind of difference and the line there a little bit. So that is probably my most negative thing about it. There are only two things that I find negative about the foundation, apart from the shades and the choices of colour, which like I say doesn't really affect me too much in a way, is the fact that it is classed as, or it is said to be long wearing. I tend to have oily skin a little bit, and you know, as the day goes on, I start to get tiny little patches along my hairline, and that's probably just like where the oil in my skin is starting to come out, even when I tend to sweat, as disgusting as that sounds. And it then does kind of show around the lips a little bit, just slightly patchy. Where my, you know, my blusher sits, and you know, kind of most of my face in terms of coverage, it stayed there. It's pretty strong, pretty long wearing, but on the odd occasion, it just starts to show my skin underneath a little bit, and it just looks like it's worn away. And you know, that can easily be fixed, don't get me wrong. You know, I can apply a little bit of powder over it. I can, you know, even if I want to reapply the foundation over it. But you know, when you're like me, I don't really have time to do that once I'm at work. You know, if I'm, you know, not at work, that's fine, I can go ahead and do it. But when I'm at work, I don't really have the time to kind of go and fix up my face a little bit. So that tends to kind of not necessarily piss me off, because I genuinely believe that it's down to the fact that my skin is kind of oily. But it does bother me a little bit, but not to the point where I'm like, you know what, I don't want to use this foundation no more, because the benefits and the good things about this foundation really overtake those two little bad things about the foundation. In terms of coverage, it's definitely a medium to full coverage. You know, it can vary depending on how you apply it. I do wear my foundation full coverage simply because I have a lot of imperfections that I want to hide on my skin, especially my freckles, which some people like. I don't particularly like them. can't even speak today, just ignore all the words that I make up. And I do get breakouts, which is inevitable with me. It's something that I'm always probably going to have, and it's something that I have to deal with. And I always say this when I talk about foundations, you know, I have spots. There is nothing I can do apart from cover them. In terms of the redness and stuff, this foundation does really, really well. You know, it really just masks them. Sounds bad in terms of mask, you know, does it look like you're wearing it? No, it doesn't look like you're wearing a foundation at all. To be honest with you, I love the fact that how natural and beautiful the finish is of it. You know, it's kind of that satin look. It's not too, well, it isn't really matte at all, but to the point where you kind of look at me and think, do I even have foundation on? Which is great. You know, people that see me throughout the day have actually really complimented on how my skin looks, because they say, you know, I can tell you've got foundation on, Kerry, which is fine, you know, but at the same time you kind of have to look twice because it looks and delivers such a lovely coverage. You know, my friends, have to kind of deal with me going, does my face look okay? Does it? So my friends now kind of have this habit of going, your skin looks really good today, you know, what foundation, blah, blah, long story. But in terms of that, I get really, really good compliments. And the best thing about foundation, you know, if you can find a foundation that doesn't look like you're wearing it, it's great. Like, brilliant. Like, that is everything you ask for in a foundation. When do you want a foundation where it looks like you're actually wearing it? You don't. So this foundation, in terms of that, if you're looking for something that's really natural, you just want to kind of even out the skin tone a little bit, you don't want too much on your skin, then you can wear it at that medium coverage, you know. And the good thing about this foundation, for those that want a full coverage, you can really, really build it up. I actually apply it with a brush, with my Real Techniques brush, and it just works really, really well. Like, it's a cream foundation, so it's not kind of liquid, it's not powdery form, it's in between, you know, it's like applying kind of, in some ways, a thickish moisturiser, you know. The way it just goes onto the skin, it just literally glides into the skin. You don't have to do too much with it. You don't have to sit there and blending it in, because literally as soon as you apply it, it just starts to kind of really melt onto the skin. It just works amazingly. I don't ever have to use concealer with this foundation. You know, if you want to, that's fine. I don't necessarily, because I feel like the full coverage that it delivers is just right for me. My skin in photographs look immaculate, like they look airbrushed, but I still look a bit ghostly. But then again, it could just be the fact that I look like a freaking ghost. Who knows? That's with flash though. Without flash, it looks amazing. You know, I don't know if that helps to you guys out there. You might get different results, but when it comes with flash, I do look like a complete ghost. So forgive me on that. I'll quickly read what's on the back of the foundation bottle. I won't read what's all on there, but it really sold the foundation to me. So it says here, the ultimate in flawless coverage, Silk Cream Foundation is a beautiful light diffusing formula offering advanced light reflection properties, which cause fine lines and wrinkles to optically vanish. How marvellous. What more could you want? It says here that it's a foundation that delivers flawless, buildable coverage in a long-wearing, rich, hydrating base. In terms of hydration, yes, my skin does never feel dry when I have this on. Like, literally, it feels soft. Like, I can't even explain. Silk Cream Foundation, it feels like silk, to simply put it that way. In terms of price, yes, it is a little bit on the expensive side, £33. However, you are paying for quality here. This is not a foundation that it's never let me down. Apart, yes, I do get the dry patches, but like I say, in terms of everything else, in terms of how it looks on my skin, it looks quality on my skin. The way it works into the skin is complete quality. You know, you are getting your money's worth here. And if you are kind of struggling to kind of pay for that, there is a foundation that I have tried that's kind of similar in a way, and it's the L'Oreal Infallible. It's not at the standards of the Laura Mercier, but it has, you know, some very similar properties and the coverage and stuff like that. If you are looking for a foundation that has SPF in it, unfortunately this doesn't. That doesn't necessarily bother me, because I actually apply a moisturiser with SPF before I wear it, so to me that's not a negative. It may be to you guys, because it's a little bit of extra work that you have to do in the morning, but I always kind of advise to wear moisturiser before your foundation, just because, you know, it keeps your skin moisturised and stuff like that. So if you are, you know, looking for a brand new foundation, a foundation that delivers great results, great coverage, then definitely look out for the Laura Mercier foundation. You know, it's available in so many stores over here in the UK, and I'm sure as well in America, because it is actually a crazy popular foundation over there too. I bought mine from the House of Fraser. Like I say, I bought it for £33. If you are kind of wanting to find updates, I'm actually going to post some stuff to my blog as well, and I'll link everything below. But thank you for watching this crazy, short, maybe rambling video. I don't even know if I've said what everything I need to say. I'll probably be like, damn it, why didn't I tell them that? So if I have missed anything, I will update you guys on Twitter as well. Everything I will post below. Thank you guys, love you so much, and take care, bye bye.